This video covers getting from Rhodes to the start of the Broughton Street cycleway in Concord. From there, it's a short hop over to Burwood. There are several places where you could branch off along the way to get to 5 Dock and then to the CBD, but those are reasonably well signposted and they'll be covered in another video. We're starting where the last video left off, which is at the corner of Blacksland Road and Leeds Street in Rhodes. You can get to this spot by either riding over the John Whitton Bridge from Meadowbank or Ryde, or by riding around the Rhodes foreshore from somewhere like Wentworth Point or Silverwater. Turn left into Leeds Street and keep going straight ahead. Don't stick too close to the parked cars because there are a lot of blind driveways along here from the businesses. Most cars will turn off to the right because this road we're going on is a dead end, except for us. Head for the bollards next to the IKEA warehouse and watch the lip going up the ramp. Yeah, if you don't watch the lip, you'll end up with a limp. It's a tight turn around this tree and the path is narrow, so take it easy. This bridge is under maintenance at the moment, so ring your bell to warn the workers you are coming. The turns under the bridge are also blind corners and these wooden doors under here might be open, so watch it when you come around the corner. This is a work site and you may have to stop. You could hang right and go over the Ryde Bridge. There's some nice waterfront paths over there and we'll cover them at another time. But we're going to turn left into Lewin Street. I had a Welsh grandmother, I should be able to pronounce that properly, but yeah. There is a bike lane marked here, but I try to avoid using it because of the dooring risk. Particularly on the blind corners. I only move into the bike lane if there are cars coming up behind me, and that's usually pretty rare. The last time I turned off into this path into McIlwain Park, there was a tree down after a storm. There's more blind corners and overgrown vegetation here, so ring that bell and take it easy. That's a toilet block on the left, and there are water bubblers around here. You can choose between the path and the car park, but just note that when the weather is nice, there are cars double parked all over the place around here. Some drivers will even block the ramps to these paths. If you do cut through the car park, you may be tempted to keep going straight and to ride along the Kokoda walking track. Whatever you do, don't do that. It's a memorial track for walking only. I have seen cyclists try to ride through there. Now, my Uncle Fred served in New Guinea as an army mechanic in World War II, and he was very mechanically adept until he died just short of 90. If you ride through there, his ghost will ensure you get a mechanical failure that forces you to walk home. Just stay out. Instead, go up to Concord Road and take the path that runs alongside it. Turn left at the top of the hill into Rhodes Park. This pops you out at Killula Street. Turn right and then left into Fremont Street. Just watch out for cars coming out of Fremont Street. They have a tendency not to stop. Up ahead of you is Concord Hospital. The staff are lovely, but it really is a place to steer clear of. If you have time, turn left and ride down to the end of Hospital Road and have a look at the grounds of Rivendell. They're very nice. If you don't have time, turn right into Hospital Road. Now this is a horrible stretch of road. The concrete slabs are really uneven, there's a constant risk of being doored, and I've had several close passes from impatient drivers along here. It's generally very unpleasant. I always ride to the right of the joint you can see in the road to avoid being doored. Once you turn left at the roundabout into Nullawarra Avenue, you have a bike lane and no parked cars. But watch out for drivers turning in and out of these streets and car parks on the left. I've nearly been taken out twice on this stretch. Would have been silly to end up in Concord Hospital having been hit by a staff member coming out of the car park. Anyway, at certain times of the year, the trees along here drop large nuts onto the path and you need to avoid running over them if you want to stay upright. Council never sweeps the road frequently enough when the nuts are dropping. It's then a long slog up this hill. If you're feeling a bit wrecked, turn into the Dame Eadith Walker estate at the top. It's a lovely part of the world. If you've got a mountain bike, you can actually ride down to a track that runs along the water and get around to Majors Bay Reserve that way. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that anymore. Otherwise, zoom straight down the hill, watching for leaf litter on the bend at the bottom. At the roundabout, notice how all the paint on the bike lane has been worn away. That just shows you how often drivers cut into the bike lane. Watch it, because if there's someone coming up behind you, they may cut the corner with you in it. We're now on Norman Street, and drivers also cut the corners on the bends, as you can see along here in this video. So if there are no cars parked along here, I always ride in the parking lane. Now, personally, I think council should swap the lanes around and put the bike lane on the inside. Watch out for doors along here. If sport is being played, you get kids in the back seat flinging open their doors without looking. The bike lane curves around to the right into Majors Bay Road, and that's where we're going. We've got another long uphill section with a roundabout in the middle. Just keep on chugging up the hill. When you get to Archer Street on the left, you'll see signs directing you to go that way. Now that is the way to go if you're heading towards 5 Dock in the city, but if you want a coffee or a tasty snack, we're going to keep going straight. Once we get over the hill, you want to get into the right hand lane. I usually wait until I'm past this crossroad because some drivers will turn right there. You'll have picked up quite a bit of speed, but don't be tempted to go smashing through this roundabout at Warp 9. There may be drivers coming around it from your right, and not all drivers coming from your left will see you or bother to give way. And you've also got to watch for pedestrians on this crossing. This section of Majors Bay Road is uphill, but the traffic tends to move slowly because a lot of drivers are just ambling along looking for a parking spot. I know the speed limit says 40, but a lot of the time they're doing about 20. Watch out for drivers reversing out of the parking spaces. You now have a plethora of cafes to choose from and an excellent gelato shop. My go-to place at the moment is a Vietnamese bakery on the other side of the road for a tart. Service is fast, the tarts are small and very good, and you don't have to hang around if you don't want to. If you're feeling guilty about doing that, just think how good it is to support a local small business. With the fuel tank topped up, keep on going straight on Majors Bay Road. Go through the first roundabout and down the hill towards the next roundabout. You can see there is a ton of room over here on the left for a bike lane. I wonder why council hasn't thought of that. You can go left at this roundabout to head towards the city, but we're going to go around it and into Patterson Street. But instead of going actually up Patterson Street, we're going to duck straight off into Queen Elizabeth Park. You've got to watch out for the magpies on this path at certain times of the year. You can also go left here to get to 5 Dock in the city. This is the route the East-West Regional Cycleway is supposed to take, but we're going to keep on going up to the next corner, which is where the Broughton St Cycleway starts, or where it's eventually going to start when it opens. You can click up here to see how to take Broughton Street over to Burwood, and you can click down here for a playlist of other route guides in this series. If you want to join Baybug and come for a ride with us, there's a link in the description that you can follow. Membership is free, and you don't have to be a resident of Canada Bay to join.